And some of the problems you asked about. 66. How do we change polar, which is r theta, to rectangular? Well, x is always r cosine theta, and y is always r sine theta. So we got negative 0.8 cosine of, and this is in radians, so I better go to my mode and make sure I'm in radians. At least I can't tell. It looks like radians. They didn't say it's degrees. Cosine of negative 2.1. And they say the x-coordinate should be, as it says here, 0.403 or 4, roughly, comma, and the y would be same thing, but with a sign. And that's 0.691. Sorry about that crazy 9 there. Okay? Next one. Change it to polar. Well, we know r is equal to x squared plus y squared. And if we, but we also know x is, like we had up above, those, so we have, an x squared plus y squared. This is 2 times x squared plus y squared. So it's 2 times, r squared is x squared plus y squared. R is the square root of x squared plus y squared. So this is 2r squared equals 3. That's a polar equation. Now you could solve for r if you want. R would equal plus or minus the square root of 3 halves. Divide by 2 and take the square root. All right, now we got another one with x's and y's to change the polar. Well, y squared is r sine theta squared equals 2x, which is r cosine theta. So this is r squared sine squared theta equal to 2r cosine theta. You can divide everything by r, and that would mean that we'd lose an r here, and we'd have r sine squared theta equals 2 cosine theta. And we have to be careful. R could not be 0. Well, r equaled 0 would be just a dot at the center, so that's really not something to be too concerned about. We would lose that dot in the center that this has. Then divide by sine squared, and we get r equals 2 cosine theta divided by sine squared theta. We got one more to change to polar. Well, x is r cosine theta equals 4, and so r would equal 4 over cosine theta. Change this one to rectangular. Well, sine theta isn't easy to change. R sine theta is. So if I multiply this side by r and this side by r, then I would have r sine theta. And over here I would have r squared equals r sine theta plus r. And we can change r squared to x squared plus y squared equals r sine theta is just y plus r. R is the square root of x squared plus y squared. And if I was trying to write it in rectangular, usually we try to set so y equals, it's a y equals, but this is too complicated to solve for that, so I'll just leave that. And another one to change to rectangular. Well, I got a cosine theta. I know that r cosine theta is x. So if I could get an r there, well, I got a fraction. So I can multiply the numerator by r and the denominator by r, which means I'd have r equals 3r over 3r minus r cosine theta. So I would have, let's see here. I could divide both sides by r, and that would get rid of that r and get rid of that r and leave a 1. So I would have 1 equals 3 over 3r minus r cosine theta. And now changing to rectangular, I'd have 1 equals 3 over, actually I should probably just multiply both sides by this to make this easier looking here. Multiply by this on this side and would cancel, and on this side I'd have 1 times it, which is 3r minus r cosine theta equals 3. So we'd have 3, and r is the square root of x squared plus y squared, minus, and r cosine theta is just x equals 3.